All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're getting into the mind of a true yoga master, BKS Iyengar. But here's the twist. We're going to see his philosophy through the eyes of, well, let's call him a very tough mentor from our source material, a guy named Zoran. And trust me, Zoran does not pull his punches.
Yeah, he comes out swinging, right? Zoran's whole point is this. We're constantly looking for the quick fix, the easy way out. But the path Iyengar carved out for himself, the one we're about to walk down, it's the total opposite. We're talking discipline, unwavering focus, and just pure grit.
So, where does a story like this even begin? Well, it doesn't start from a place of strength, not even close. It starts in a place of incredible weakness. This is a real from the ashes kind of story.
You see, to really get the master, you have to first understand the boy he once was. Zoran describes him as this mere wisp of a flame, just barely there, but, and this is the key part, he was also a stubborn spark that refuses to be extinguished. That little flicker just wouldn't go out.
And man, when you look at the reality of it, you can feel that fragility. He was born in 1918, and his childhood, it was just one long fight. He was dealing with malaria, tuberculosis, typhoid. He even got hit by the Spanish flu as a little kid. I mean, his body was just wrecked. His prospects, they were pretty much zero.
And this, right here, is maybe the most important thing to get. For him, yoga wasn't some cool hobby or a path to wellness, no way. For young Iyengar, it was a last resort, a desperate last-ditch effort to just survive. It was literally a fight for his life.
And out of that fight came this incredible discovery. It became the very first pillar of his entire method, something we can call the geometry of being.
Now, Iyengar was known for being almost obsessively precise, which, makes you wonder, does it really matter if my heel is off by just a centimeter? And his answer every single time was a powerful, undeniable yes.
See, for him, alignment had nothing to do with looking good for a picture. It was all about the meticulous, scientific placement of the body. He saw it as the absolute foundation, first for safety and then for unlocking the real power hidden inside every single pose.
And all these principles, they weren't just random ideas. They formed a whole system. It wasn't about just throwing your body into different shapes. It was about creating perfect symmetry so you don't build imbalances. It was about extension, lengthening to create space in your joints. It was about having a rock-solid foundation in every pose. And maybe most importantly, using your intention, your mind, to tell specific parts of your body what to do. Every little detail had a job to do.
But all this precision, it wasn't just for the body. The idea was simple but profound. If you straighten the physical body, your temple, then the spirit living inside that temple finds its own balance, its own true north. The outside world reflects the inside world.
Okay, but Iyengar wasn't living in a fantasy world. He was a realist. He knew that not everyone could just jump into perfect alignment on day one. And that's what led to his second brilliant innovation, creating what you might call pillars for the unsteady.
And Zoran, our tough mentor, he puts it so well. Iyengar didn't just yell at you for not being flexible enough. No. Zoran says he offered you crutches, tools to bridge the gap between your aspiration and your current reality. What a great way to put it.
But let's be clear. These crutches, what we call props, they weren't about being lazy. Not at all. They served really smart purposes. They helped you find that correct alignment. They helped you extend your reach when you were tight. They supported you so you could hold a pose longer and really understand it. And maybe the biggest thing? They made yoga accessible to literally anyone, no matter their age, their injuries, or their limitations.
And the way he did it was genius. He just used everyday stuff. A block isn't just a block. It brings the floor up to meet your hand. A belt isn't just a belt. It becomes an extension of your arms. He could turn a simple folding chair into a powerful tool for learning balance. The whole idea was revolutionary at the time. Stop trying to force your body into a pose. Instead, change the pose to fit your body. And here's the crucial part. Props were never meant to be a permanent solution. They're more like training wheels. They're temporary teachers. They show your body what it's supposed to feel like, which frees up your mind to stop struggling and start paying attention to the deeper, subtler stuff happening inside. So, if it's all about alignment and props, but it's not really just about the body, then what's the point? Where are we headed with all this? Well, that brings us to the ultimate goal of the whole practice, the unseen ascent.
And Zoran, in his typical blunt way, makes it crystal clear. He says Iyengar didn't spend decades perfecting poses just to give you better Instagram photos. Ha! No. The whole point is that this precisely aligned body, it becomes a doorway. a gateway to exploring the vast, unseen world inside yourself.
And that is the end game. This whole thing, it's so much more than just exercise. The ultimate aim is to use your body like a finely tuned instrument. An instrument you use to finally quiet all that chatter in your mind, so you can connect with your true self, what the ancient yogis called the Atman, the soul, the universal spirit that's inside all of us.
He even provided a map for this inner journey. He saw it as moving through different layers or sheaths called the koshas. You start on the outside with the most obvious thing, the physical body. That's the Annamaya kosha. The genius of his method is that once you master that, it gives you access to the next, more subtle layer, your energy, and then your mind, then your wisdom, until finally you reach the very center, the Anandamaya kosha, the bliss body. It's a journey from the outside in.
So what does that all boil down to? It means that all that intense physical work, it's really just meditation in action. Every second you spend focusing on your alignment, on your breath, it's not just exercise, it's mental training. You're building the muscle of internal awareness that you need to make that journey inside.
All right, let's bring it all home now. This entire journey, from sickness to mastery, it all comes together in one final, powerful idea: building a temple of trust. Zoran has this proverb that just nails Iyengar's origin story. A phoenix does not rise from comfort, but from the searing heat of its own demise. Wow. Iyengar's incredible strength wasn't just handed to him, it was forged in the absolute fire of his own suffering.
Think about it. From this incredibly fragile, sick little boy, a legacy that changed the world was born. With just pure, relentless dedication, he showed everyone that it's possible to find that little spark and fan it into a flame, even when everyone else just sees dust.
In the end, Iyengar's life was a testament to one thing: turning a fragile body into a powerful temple. A temple built not with stone, but with discipline, precision, and a deep, unshakable trust in oneself. And so, that leaves us with one last question to think about. What will you build?